Ladies and gentlemen, this is a novice fight set for 3 rounds at 3 minutes apiece. And now, out of the blue corner, his record is 0-0. His height is 5'11". His weight 145 pounds. He trains with Team Ross out of Sweetwater, Alabama. Please welcome Dustin Country Boy Pritchett. And in the red corner, his record is also 0-0. His height is 6 foot. His weight is 145. He trains with Cobra BJJ out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. His name is Jacob Tsunami Sellers.
So, Chris, as you know, it takes a little time.
This fight is Cody East.
Takes a little time to kind of get your feet wet in this sport. And your first fight is always never your best. And, you know, come around fight 3 or 4, you kind of reflect back saying, man, I didn't know much in my first fight. I can't believe I got in there.
Well, and we've talked about this before. Both these guys are very athletic. Big right hand, though. So, especially, I always talk about if you've done any one-on-one sports before, especially, you know, something with wrestling or boxing really translates well.
Pritchett is really taking the fight to Alex Sellers.
Man, Alex Sellers has a chin. He's taking big right hands already.
Yeah, he's going to have to figure out some head movement in regards to Dustin's right hand.
I think he's saying, you know what, I'm going to try and get it to the ground.
So against the cage, we have Pritchett. He's throwing that knee. He's opening up the body a little bit. He's going to take his time here, I think, and recompose his hips. He's turning to the side.
Single leg attempt
if
right now.
If I'm Sellers, I'm going to try to kind of restart the cadence and rhythm of the fight because he got off a little too slow.
Oh, guillotine attempts here. I don't think there's going to be much on that.
Hard to get from right there. He's looking up.
For sure.
I mean, both these guys are pretty. There's a smart move, putting the forearm against the throat, pushing off.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look at, you can already see it. He's cut open. Man, he just continues to walk right through that right hand.
And we can see a cut open on Sellers at this point.
Now, here's the thing. Sellers is weathering the storm right now. He's going to have to figure that out. But, I mean.
Yeah, so sometimes there's
looking for the double leg.
Sometimes there's an unsettling feeling when you've hit your opponent with everything you've got and he's still walking forward.
Absolutely. I've done that before, and you don't know what to do. You're like, I thought I hit hard. This guy just looked at me. What do you do?
Yeah, and you know, into Sellers' and you know, to Sellers' credit, like, you can take those punches, but doesn't mean you should take the punches.
Well, definitely not. But that's something you come back after your first fight and you look at, okay, what went wrong here? What went right? You know, I proved I could take a punch. I don't want to take a punch. I need to learn how to not take so many clean shots.
Yeah, and Sellers, his brother also fights, I believe. So, and you can imagine.
Wow! Can you believe that? That was impressive. I don't think people realize how difficult it is to roll a person like that.
You know, Chris, that was that athleticism you were talking about and in the beginning that you alluded to.
Absolutely.
So, the amount of energy expenditure on that, though, is you're running your gas tank pretty heavy.
Man, I mean,
they are landing.
His connection rate has got to be around 92%.
You know, and Pritchett, I think, although he's landing every right hand he's throwing, he should probably work on a setup just a little bit better.
Yeah, he should, even though
he's
necessary
landing
right now. I mean, it's not necessary, but eventually they're going to have to. But this is the first fight. This is where you're going to work these things out. The pace is going to slow a little bit. We'll see what happens here.
You know, surprising. Neither fighter's breathing out of their mouth really just yet. You know, it's not like labored breathing. And usually right around now you kind of get your initial adrenaline dump on your first fight.
You know, if I'm Dustin, his corner, I think at the end of the round I'm going to tell him more right hands. What do you think?
Expending big energy with those punches rather is Pritchett.
Wow, that was a great first round. I'm not going to
lie.
A lot of punches landed there. A little bit of groundwork, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so look at this double leg.
So the thing with Pritchett is he's going for a lot of high risk. He's going for a lot of high risk, like, power punches, and he's trying to land that spinning back fist a couple times. But he's generally kind of
another replay here.
Back.
Here is where we get that impressive reversal by Pritchett.
Yes.
I mean, that's a lot of strength right there. Now you can see right now it just kind of shows them in the corner, giving some good advice, instructions right now.
Pritchett.
Hopefully they're recapping and saying, hey, we're going to have to move our head a little bit. Watch that big right hand coming.
If you look at the corner, Pritchett was offered the stool and he decided to stand.
First fight. Give him his third fight. Give me the stool.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, they're amped up. They're ready to go, but it's not affecting their performance.
And you know, it speaks volumes of his cardio.
It's almost as if he's saying, no, I came here to fight. I don't want to sit down. You know?
I'll sit down later. I'll sit down after the fight.
Very nice clinch overhook for Pritchett. Stuffing the head away. But Sellers is chasing that single leg, and he gets it. He's down on the canvas.
Oh, guillotine attempt right there. That gets in there pretty good. I can't see the other arm. Nah.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have
And
it.
Chris, as someone who's trained at the highest level of the sport, man, how often does the gloves come into effect when trying to finish the guillotine?
So much easier to get a guillotine without gloves on. You
Right,
grappling, jiu-jitsu, so much easier. The gloves are a big hindrance. A lot of people think they're a help. They can cut off the blood supply a little more. Yeah, if you can get him in there. It's hard to get him in that position.
Absolutely. So he's playing an open guard now. Pritchett on the bottom. Sellers on top.
And if I'm in Sellers' corner, I'm telling him, get this fight to the ground. You're doing better on top than you are on your feet. That's something to work on later. Get on top, win the fight.
Well, here, when we talked about, power, like high energy moves that take a lot out of your gas tank, the last time Pritchett was in this position, you saw him like almost not body slam, but move the entire body of his opponent off of him. And that takes a lot out of you.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I have a feeling, like in terms of like technique and being slick and making things easy, Pritchett doesn't really fall into that category. It's more of a square peg through a round hole type guy.
Which works for a while, but you can't do it long term.
Well, you're going late in the second and third round. Those types of abilities fade away.
He just tried that move once again.
If I had to guess at this point and just knowing his camp and how they work, I think that he is using tactics to maybe conserve a little energy here, catch his second wind, and I think you're going to see some
There's
good
a good
jiu-jitsu
reversal right there.
That's exactly what I was talking about, Chris.
And now look at that good body work.
Conserving energy, dodging the triangle is Pritchett and wanting to take it back to the feet.
That's the right thing. That's where he wants to live right now.
If you look at Alex Sellers' right eye,
right hand's coming.
He's got a real big lump over it. And it might be closing by the end of this round.
I mean, and if you watch, Pritchett's winding up as he throws that. He cocks back with the right hand throws. He doesn't need to do that. All he needs to do is throw it straight.
I'd almost like to see him set it up with the jab.
Right. Yeah, that's a crazy idea, but it works.
And maybe a three-punch combo instead of a one right hand.
Yeah. Almost gave up his back there.
It's working, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean,
but as
long term. But I mean,
yes.
Another important part is figuring out what's working in the fight and going with it.
And Sellers on bottom playing an impressive guard game. He's tying up limbs, he's tying up the legs, tying up the arms, and Pritchett just wants to get him back on his feet where he can control the fight.
Boy, laying that big right hand. He's going to do a spinning back fist. Look at that.
Absolutely.
What Sellers is doing is he's walking right in at the same angle.
Yep.
There
is no angle. It's a very linear, straightforward.
It's a very straight line, and he's kind of limited on his head movement.
And I feel like that maybe Sellers is getting the better of the ground exchange, but Pritchett is definitely handling business on his feet, Chris. I mean,
absolutely. But here's that reversal we talked about, waiting for the right time, feeling the bounce. Good explosion. Waiting for the right time till you feel somebody's bounce is off just a little bit.
That tends to take a lot out of your gas tank, though.
When you have two people on the ground, though, you don't see a lot of explosivity when you're on bottom, because the guy who is on bottom has not only the weight of the person on top, but gravity working against them as a factor. So you kind of have to, kind of keep your composure and relax and kind of feel where that weight distribution goes. It's a big factor of the ground game that a lot of people ignore. They just try to explode and they expend massive amounts of energy.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I just saw in the corners. You got Alex Sellers getting some real good direction, and there was actual communication in regards to the math equation that's in front of them. And Pritchett is starting to get a little labored with his breathing right now, and Sellers might be down 2 rounds. So there's going to have to be a sense of urgency, which is what we're seeing right now.
Well, and it's very hard in this to ground and pound your opponent out. You really can't. So you're going to have to either knock him out or hit him with a submission. But he's throwing bombs now. The problem is he's getting hit.
Pritchett's going for broke because he knows he's down 2 rounds.
And he got cut open again. Oh, big left hand.
And
he's landing some punches here.
I'll tell you right now.
He got to clear. He's got to get away.
Dustin Pritchett may hit that cardio wall.
He needs to get. I don't like this.
Big double.
I think he should have broke away, created some distance, and then threw punches.
Which is why at 0-0 fighters, a little more precautions to get them a little more ring time.
Yeah, that's exactly all this is about.
And Alex Sellers.
What do you do at this point? You get here and you hit to the body. You really can't get up and hit and finish the fight.
You can steal around here, but you're not going to finish a guy.
But notice how there's no hesitation on the face of Pritchett. He just looks calm here. This seems to be where he's most confident at.
Even if Pritchett
does
rides us out,
he's still up 2 rounds. He better be. He might want to try and go for a Von Flute choke. He's got to get out of that mount, though. He should get to the side mount and really he can finish.
There it is.
He got it. He got the Von Flute from the mount.
Okay. Now, what I had explained to you guys, in between rounds, you watch Sellers with urgency, talking in regards to what was going on. They had a solution to this math equation, and you saw more aggression come out of Pritchett, keeping.
He came out with the urgency.
Sellers keeping Pritchett on his back feet, pushed against the fence. And you saw him finish it.
I got to be honest, that was a great first fight.
Absolutely.
Way to start the night. I loved it.
And you know, if you're Pritchett, you're sitting here going, man, I lost the fight that I was clearly the better fighter at.
Here's the ending. Watch this right here. Gets the takedown. Could have struck with him, but no. Felt very confident on the ground.
Brought his knees together, and that was it.
Yep.
We're going to make this official.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 19 seconds into the 3rd round. Your referee, Cody Easton, has called a stop to this fight. Your winner by Von Flute choke, Jacob Tsunami